Good morning, second graders. We are on to chapter 11 in Guinea Dog, which is called Here's Why You Should Never Keep a Rodent in Your Backpack at School All Day. So it's a list of things. It will pee. It will poop. It will pee again. It will poop again. The pee and poop will ruin whatever you keep in your backpack, especially your lunch. If anyone finds out it is in there, you will get busted and humiliated in front of everybody. And worrying about this could give you a heart attack. I had to figure out a way to get Fido out of the school. I considered calling Dad and having him come and pick her up, but interrupting his work seemed worse than having a guinea pig in my backpack. I considered acting sick and getting sent home, but I worried Fido might start making noise while I was in the nurse's office, especially if the nurse made me say, "ah," or something, and Fido thought she was hurting me. Too risky. And then I had an idea that seemed like it just might work, which sounds incredible. I know. In fact, the biggest thing going against it was that I thought of it. I carefully stood up, pulled on my backpack, and walked towards Miss Sharp's desk. "Yes, Rufus?" she said, looking up. "What is it? I'm about to begin class. I have to, I looked around, then leaned forward and whispered, "Go to the bathroom." "Couldn't you have gone before the bell, Rufus?" Miss Sharp said, a bit sternly. I shrugged. "I didn't have to then." "Fine, okay, take a pass and please hurry." I leaned closer. "I don't think this'll be a hurry kind of trip," I whispered. She stiffened in her chair. "Well then, you had better get going, hadn't you?" I nodded and walked away. "Oh, and Rufus," she said. I stopped and looked back, trying to hide my smugness. You see, I was hoping she would stop me. "Why don't you hang up my backpack while I'm out?" I said, precisely what I was thinking. And off I went. I grabbed a bathroom pass, but I passed the bathroom. I didn't need to go. Lie number 1. I then passed my locker. Lie number 2. And left the building through the east doors. Lie number 3. Considering that's what I intended to do all along. Once I was outside, however, I came to the end of my brilliant plan. The plan was, pretend you're going to the bathroom, but instead, take Fido out of the building. I didn't think about what to do with her after that. I saw then that I probably didn't have a bright future as a criminal mastermind. I leaned back against the closed door, trying to stay out of sight of anyone inside or outside of the school, and that's when I noticed the little groundskeeping shed. It had some green bushes around it. Eureka! I thought, and my plan lurched ahead in phase 2. I looked from side to side, tried to imagine some cool spy music in my head, but was only able to bring up the theme to Fairly Odd Parents. Then ran in a crouch across the grass to the shed. When I got there, I ditched my bag under a bush and whispered, "Stay quiet," to Fido, who had started to screech, and then I took off running. When it hit me, "Oh, my lunch!" I went back, pulled the bag out from under the bush, unzipped it, removed my sack lunch, and good thinking here, my homework. And I whispered again, "Stay quiet," to Fido, then zipped up the bag, tossed it back under the bush, and took off running again. When another thought hit me, lunch! This time, Fido's. Again, I went back, pulled the bag out from under the bush, and unzipped it. I opened my sack lunch, took out the turkey sandwich my dad made me, pulled off the lettuce, and dropped it into the backpack. Fido started chirping happily. "Quiet! I mean it!" I hissed, and she got quiet. I tossed the backpack back under the bush again and took off running again toward the building and ran straight into Murph. Wham! "Whoa, Roof, what are you doing out here, dude?" he asked as we picked up ourselves off the ground. You're late?" he asked with a laugh. "Without me? I'm not sure that's okay with me." "That's it," I said. "I'm late. Late. Boy, am I late." He laughed. "Guess we better get in there and get our tardy slips then, Mr. Late Guy." Oops, I wasn't really late, in fact, was I? I'd already been to class, in fact, hadn't I? I had a bathroom pass, in fact, didn't I? Now I was really in a mess, wasn't I? "No hurry," I said. "We're already late. We can't be double late." Murph laughed again. "Attaboy, Roof. That's the spirit. Still, not much to do out here, is there? Might as well get to class, am I right? He was right. The thing to do was follow him. As long as I stuck with Murph, nothing bad could happen to me, because as long as I stuck with him, no one would pay attention to me. Lead on, Mr. Malloy, I said. For a guy who never came up with many bright ideas, I was coming up with an awful lot of them, which worried me. As I hoped, no one noticed me in the office when we picked up our tardy slips. I jammed mine in my pocket. And no one noticed me when we walked through the door to class. All eyes were on Murphy, as usual. I handed Miss Sharp back the bathroom pass, which, if he even noticed, Murph probably figured it was my tardy slip. Then I snuck away quietly to my seat. I was pretty darn proud of myself. All had gone according to plan. I had gotten myself out of a pretty sticky situation. And into another one. I wonder what that sticky situation might be. Guess we'll find out next time in Chapter 12, Recess is a Joke. See you next time.